But we will have the 5 red lights on here in Texas. And they're out as Nasev will lead us up into turn 1, up in the steep climb into turn 1. Coda Hemi's not got the best of starts. It's a loud echo on the inside, and Rio dive bombs. Hemi dives on the inside of turn 1. Almost a big spin. Exiting turn 1. Rio up into P2 as Hemi dropping some positions. Gordon with a beautiful start. Echo on the rear as TJ wants to get involved here as well. Meanwhile, the Tier 2 champions, championship rivals from last season, Ty Clear and Stephen Beecham, go into battle down into turn 12 as Michael Louis on the inside of Stephen Beecham gonna make this move through turn 12. Will he swap to the inside? He does. Dives bombs on the inside of Stephen Beecham. The Ferrari on the hards trying to keep it together. Story makes a big error, which allows Ollie straight through again, and Ollie being... There may be no love lost between these two. Certainly after the contact at turn 1. Hemi Dimes now on the inside of Rio Harris. Rio going to have to slot in behind as he can look for the switch back on the Ferrari driver. Not the best of camera angles. We've got Michael Louis on the inside of Ty as well at turn 12, and Michael Louis up into P6. Scones predicted. Meanwhile, Rio back down the inside of Hemi Dimes, and is he going to go for the move this time? He does. Looks to battle the Ferrari driver as Hemi has to go defensive, and Rio just getting impatient behind the Ferrari here. And through the middle sector, Rio dives it on the inside of the Ferrari driver. Side by side they go. And still battling, and Hemi going to keep it ahead, but that has cost them both half a second, that mini battle. Down the background, won't be able to get close enough to go for this move as Rio on the inside of turn 1. Big contact between Hemi and Rio Harris as they come together. A big half spin from Rio, and the gloves may be off in this battle as they both try and catch Cookie in the championship. Rio with another late send as we get not a great camera angle, absolutely horrendous camera angles. Someone fire the director, absolutely sacked them out the window. Couldn't see what was happening there, but Hemi for the move as TJ back on the inside of Michael Louis as we head through turn 12, and TJ back through on the McLaren of Michael Louis. A lovely move from TJ into P5, and TJ and Echo actually battling in the championship for championship position as Mallard and Stephen battle through turn 12. And round we go through turn 13. Can Stephen keep his nose in as Mallard trying to defend from the Ferrari, but the Ferrari dives it through. And a lovely move from Stephen. Can Mallard get the traction, or are those mediums gone? I think. As Rio back down the rear of Hemi Dimes and into turn 1. Can he look for the move? And ahead, surely, at this point, as Hemi leaving the space for Rio. Side by side they go out of turn 1, side by side. As we head through turn 2, we're still side by side into turn 3. Who will back out? The Ferrari finally will have to back out, and Rio on lap 11 finally gets into P2 of Rio Harris as Rio already flashing here down the straight. Hemi gonna go for the move on the outside again with the camera angles, people, as Rio on the inside gonna try and keep it ahead. Hemi on the inside of the next corner, turn 13, side by side we go. We're battling side by side. These two have been ferociously battling here as Rio gonna keep it parked on the inside. Hemi gonna look for the traction out of the corner. Codzilla with Ty on the rear and down into turn 1. Ty gonna send it on Codzilla. Side by side we go through turn 1. We've got, oh, and big mistake there from Codzilla. That's gonna allow Michael Louis straight on through. TJ is gonna want to get ahead as early as possible here. Has got to change his plan for the race as Michael dives it on Ty Clear. Side by side they go. A little bit of contact with torches. Ty off the road. TJ a little bit of contact involved as well. Echo on the inside. Well, that's Codzilla on the inside, sorry. As Michael getting back through on Ty here. And TJ around the outside trying to shape for a move on Ty. Gets back ahead. Switch back on the agenda for TJ. Meanwhile, Stephen doing relatively well to keep inside DRS range. He'll get the benefit of it for another lap. So Stephen doing very well. And it's Harston and Hemi dives into the rear of Rio Harris. Big damage for the Ferrari driver. Massive damage. Front right end plate off. Hemi dives now. And the championship rivals are coming to blows here. And will Hemi look to send it on the inside of turn 12? He does. He sends him on the inside. Can he get the exit out of turn 12? Rio defending well. Hemi may cost him as well, as Ollie now on the rear of TJ. TJ was very defensive to the inside. Ollie swaps to the inside as we head into turn 1. Who's going to keep it? Ollie side by side with TJ and around the outside. Can TJ keep it? A bit of wheel hooking, and Ollie going to have to concede the place. Too little too late, as Echo now on the rear. And there's not a lot Stephen could have done in that scenario. Stephen now with DRS will get back ahead now. Down to P10 he goes. Ollie been exiting ahead of the Haas, but side by side with TJ, and Ollie being ahead of TJ now. Red Bull, all those years ago, as TJ on the inside, another bad camera angle, will possibly lose out to Codzilla into turn 1. Codzilla has DRS, so does Ollie, but on these fresh medium tires, surely Codzilla going to get through on Ollie Bean. And Ollie Bean got to think about boxing, because if he boxes early enough, he can get back ahead of Mallard. Has Nasev spun? Nasev has spun! Nasev has spun into turn 1! Nasev, the race leader, who surely had this up in the bag, has spun into turn 1. He may have handed Rio a chance to win here. Meanwhile, Nasev back on the rear of Rio Harris. Not close enough to make any move as Rio makes a big mistake. And that's opened the door to Nasev. And Nasev has walked right through that door, losing the lead. As Codzilla now back through on Thori. Down into turn 12. Codzilla going to get this move, but can he extend? Catching the rear of Michael Louis. And will they look to battle? I think so. Ollie finally making the move on Michael Louis. And Ollie with 3 seconds of penalties. Coming into the pit lane now and looking for the fastest lap as Michael Louis back down the inside of his teammate Ollie. As they swap. As Thori now back on the rear of Codzilla, going to get back ahead into turn 12 as they go side by side. Thori still pulling along. Codzilla's got another time penalty. But will he get that warning removed by the stewards? Was he forced off by Thori? Still battling with Michael Louis down into turn 11. Michael pulling back ahead here. Who is DRS though? It is Ollie. And Ollie may get back ahead of Michael Louis. And Ollie has Ellis gets a 3-second time penalty. If I were Ollie, I'd be trying to put some on the final lap as he rounds the final corner. And Nasev, yet again here in WHF Tier 1, wins in Kota. Next ahead across the line, it'll be Rio Harris, followed by Hemi Dimes, who finishes ahead of Echo. But Echo will be within 5 seconds of Hemi. So if Hemi... Oh, actually, never mind. Echo had way more penalties than I thought. Meanwhile, it's Michael Louis in behind Ollie. And Michael Louis will be promoted to P5 as a result. And it's P5 and P6 for the McLaren. Stephen Beecham did well to finish P7 on track, but Ty Clear will get ahead of his teammate from last season into P7. As TJ now will finish in P9, but oh, it's a big mistake from Thori on the final lap, and that'll hand a free position to Codzilla here. As TJ looking to secure P9 to limit the damage done by Stephen Beecham, and with Thori's mistake,
I am stupid. I am stupid.
On the final lap, that'll certainly cost him here. Codzilla crosses the line, but will he catch TJ? Nope, not close enough. Thori won't catch either. Is Ollie Bean going to get ahead of Thori at the line? As he crosses the line, Thori gets him on penalties, though Mallard, who did pick up the fastest lap there, will finish in P13 as he's got Ellis in behind, who will look to cross the line in behind. But Mallard in P13, Ellis in P14.